Hey, it's me, GV, and we have hit 75,000 subscribers. And to mark the occasion, I asked you guys to ask me questions on the Sup Saturdays video I released a while back, and also on Twitter. And so this video is going to be answering pretty much all of the questions that I put into a list. The list is in no particular order, and I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody's questions, but a lot of the questions were similar, so I've narrowed them down to this list, and let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is, what is your favorite platform for gaming? Ewan Manning asked that question, and that is a very hard question to answer simply because I don't really have a favorite platform for gaming. It's more about the games for me. The console that I've played the most on in recent times is probably the Xbox 360. I'm not like a huge fan of the Xbox 360 or Microsoft or anything like that. It's just what I have a lot of games on, what I've played a lot on. You know, I've played everything and everything. NES, Super NES, GameCube, Xbox Original, Xbox 360, and I also have a $1,500 PC. Not saying that to brag, just to give you guys an idea of what it can do. But yeah, it's basically just I take a look at whatever game I want to play and whatever console it's on, you know, I'll play it. I bought a Wii U just so I could play Super Smash Bros. 4. So yeah, I don't really have a favorite console, and the whole console wars thing and PC Master Race, it doesn't really involve me. The next question is it hard relying on only YouTube for money and scary since it's risky? And Camo Man asks that. The simple answer is no, not for me personally. Actually, the money I get from YouTube is not only enough to live comfortably in apartment living with a roommate, and obviously I could go get a job, a normal job, anytime I wanted to if money was scarce, but it's also pretty reliable. Like, there is definitely an average amount I get per month, and I can't say what it is because it's against my contract. But it's never been risky, it's never been scary, and I also am a pretty good saver, so I have like a decent savings saved up, so if, say, you know, I made like a really low amount one month, it wouldn't be like devastating or anything like that. So yeah, it's not hard relying on only YouTube for money, and it's not scary either, but that's for me personally, I can't speak for anyone else. Okay, so the Bladed Gamer's Epicness asks, would you rather have a new Elder Scrolls game or Fallout game? I want an Elder Scrolls game. Currently, right now, it would be Fallout, and I mean, I'd appreciate both, but the simple fact is that when I first played Fallout 3, I think I was too young to appreciate what they were trying to do. Like, I was like, where's the civilization? Where's the buildings? Obviously, it's a post-apocalyptic setting. I think I would be able to appreciate that much more now, and especially with the new generation and the 60 frames per second, all that, which obviously you could have already on PC if you have a gaming PC. But I'm saying they would be able to do it so much better now, and also I would be able to appreciate it much more. So I would personally want a Fallout game, and that's most likely what's coming out next. Alright, the next question is, what was your first game system, and if you can remember the first game you played, extra points for your first Bethesda game that hooked you. Ryan Amberger. So my first game system, I know that for a fact, it was the NES, which is kind of funny considering that it came out before I was born, and after I started getting into gaming, the SNES was already out. So I don't know why that was like my first system, but it was. The first game, that's a lot harder. I was too young to really remember, but it might be Super Mario Bros. 3. I know I played that game a ton. And the first Bethesda game that hooked me was most definitely Morrowind. I remember I didn't know anything about Bethesda, anything about the Elder Scrolls. I bought it because it was like $20, and I had a little bit extra of a budget to get for Christmas that year, and I know everyone's like, budget for Christmas? What? But it was just like a one-year thing. So I got that, it was like $20, and yeah, it definitely hooked me on the Elder Scrolls. Okay, so Fudge Muppet asks a very pressing and important question. They ask, tits or ass? And being a 22-year-old male, I'm partial to both, but if I had to lean one way or the other, probably ass. And also, you guys should check out Fudge Muppet. I've shouted them out before. They have an awesome channel that focuses on Skyrim builds. I'm sure you guys, like I said, already know about them, but yeah, if you haven't, their link will be in the description below. Check them out. Next question, what's your favorite Elder Scrolls game? Moo Gaming 37. I don't have one, is the simple answer, and I hate to give you guys a cop-out answer like that, but the simple fact is I like Morrowind, I like Oblivion, and I like Skyrim for all different reasons. Morrowind is by far the most unique, and it has the most unique stuff in it. Oblivion, I think, has the best quests, although I never really experimented with Morrowind's quests, but all of Oblivion's quests are, like, memorable. And Skyrim has the best, it's the most polished, first of all, and it's also the prettiest, and it's also the best in terms of exploration, like, because each cave is handcrafted. So I don't have a favorite game, I like them all differently, for different reasons. Why did you name your channel Grohlvana? Asks Jacoey. A lot of people ask this question. For those that don't know, the frontman for the Foo Fighters is Dave Grohl, and he was also the drummer for Nirvana. So Dave Grohl plus Nirvana equals Grohlvana. I'm not even a big fan of Nirvana, as some people have pointed out, because I've said it before. I just thought in freshman year of high school that was a cool name for a gamer tag, so there we have it. Where did you work before you became a full-time YouTuber? Noah Nubble. I've actually only worked at one other place other than YouTube, which is not really work, but it was Jimmy John's, and it was a fine job. It's just I have the entrepreneurial spirit, much like my mom. I cannot work like a normal job. It's just not for me. Every second I spend at a normal job is complete torture. I had a very similar feeling in school, so yeah, only one place so far, and that was Jimmy John's, and I feel like that's why I was able to make YouTube work, just because I hate working at like minimum wage jobs so much. What would you have been doing if not for YouTube? Like, did you have any dreams to be an astronaut or archaeologist or something? Connor Douglas. You know what? I've actually only really been passionate about YouTube. That is like the biggest calling I've had so far in my life. And I know it's kind of an odd answer, but I was never really passionate about anything until I got into YouTube, and then I realized, wow, this is really, really awesome. You know, building up a fan base, having a bunch of people that like to watch what you put out. When I was a kid, I was like, I wanted to be a paleontologist, but that was before I even knew what a paleontologist really did. So yeah, really, YouTube is the biggest thing that I've tried to strive for. What's your name, if that's not too personal? Linkson. It's not, because I mentioned it a couple times. My name is Austin. Yep. Achievements in games. Does a completionist care about achievements, fixate on getting most if not all achievements, or not care about them at all? Mugsy NJ2. Obviously, I can't speak for everybody, but me personally, I was a huge fan of achievements, and I would go for literally like every single one in every single game I played on the Xbox 360. If you take a look at my gamer score now and my achievement list, I think I have around 77,000, and usually every single game I play, I would definitely go for the 1000G, and if I got all the DLCs, I would go for the extra stuff. Now it's not that big of a deal because I'm playing stuff on PC, a lot of League of Legends, and I'm just generally not as into achievements as I once was, but I'm going to be getting an Xbox One soon, most definitely, so I might get back into it. But yeah, I was a huge achievement. I don't like to say whore because I don't really care about the points. It was all about just maxing out each game. What's your favorite TV show? Skydog6301. That's a very easy question to answer. It is Game of Thrones. I am a huge Game of Thrones fan. No other show has ever made me, I don't want to say feel emotions, because usually when it comes to fiction, I'm not really emotional about it, but no other show has really made my jaw like almost literally hit the floor. Like the Red Wedding, the first time I saw that, my mind was completely blown that they did that. I think it has the best writing. I think it has the best cinematography, the best characters. It's the best show in the world, and I think it will be till the end of time, and that's just my opinion, but that's what I think. If you had a survival quality, what would it be? It can be any. Think Fallout 3, Dotch. I assume you're talking about like either perks or skills, and if you are, you guys know me at this point. I mean, I would be like a huge sneak guy. However, I am literally a huge guy. I'm like 6'1", 220 pounds, so sneaking would not really be in my wheelhouse. However, if I had to pick one, it would be sneak, because I like playing sneaky characters. What is the best and worst thing regarding making Let's Plays? Tristan T-Bone. This is also an easy question for me to answer. Easily the best thing, and I hate to give like the happy ending type of answer or whatever, but easily the best thing would be to be able to simply play a video game, talk over it, and have tons of people watch it and enjoy it and leave awesome comments. That's like one of the best feelings in the whole entire world, and I love doing it. The worst thing is all the editing, because I sit through each and every video from start to finish. So I record each video, which can take anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. You guys see a 20-minute video, but usually it takes around 30 to 40 minutes, like when I'm walking through towns and whatever. And then I go back and I rewatch the entire thing after recording it to look for any errors or anything that I can correct, which is why you see a lot of text correcting myself a lot of the time. And then I render it and then upload it and then put the annotations in. So for one video, it's a big process that you guys probably don't even realize. And it's just really, really redundant having to sit through everything that I've already said before just to make sure there's no mistakes. But I'm very meticulous about that, so that's the worst thing. What's your favorite anime to watch? Cola Head 1000. I'm actually not a big anime fan. It's not because I'm opposed to it or anything like that, it's just because I've never really gotten into it. The only two animes I've ever watched from start to finish are Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I was a huge fan of, and I watched pretty much the whole thing in a 1 week time span. Like, I was really addicted to that, and Cowboy Bebop, which, you know, everyone's seen. So yeah, I haven't really watched much anime at all. What made you start a YouTube channel? The Man Sticker. This is actually a really easy question to answer too. So Grohlvana is actually a really old channel because I made it when it was like when Red Dead Redemption came out, and I remember I made two videos. One was about Red Dead Redemption and how to get all of the avatar awards, like t-shirts you could put on your avatars for doing stuff in game, and that hit 400,000 views, and I think that was the first video I ever uploaded. And then I made another video about something else that didn't get any views. But years later, when Halo 4 came out, I remember thinking, like, if I could get 400,000 views and I didn't even know what I was doing, what if I, like, took this seriously? And so the first video I ever made was a guide on how to level up the fastest in Halo 4 or whatever. And so really it was just a big experiment to see, like, how many views I could get. And it wasn't about, like, you know, money or anything like that. It was just how successful I could be making videos. And that's what got me started. So Brian Thomas 64 also asks a really important question. You ever drank orange juice before? I have drank orange juice. It's not my beverage of choice, but I'm not opposed to it. I'll enjoy it every now and then. Brian Thomas is also a person. Brian Thomas 64 is also a person that I really want to shout out as well. Not for anything that he's done for me or anything like that, just because this person really deserves a lot more exposure than he's getting. So please, if you guys would give him a chance and go check out his channel. He does reviews of video games and heavily edits them, and just by watching you can tell he puts a lot of work into his videos. He really needs more exposure. Like, his videos are really well done, and he is just getting started, so please check him out. Okay, so this is a pretty big one. I'm gonna have to actually scroll to the side because this is like in a notepad file. Hey Grohlvana, been watching you a lot and was wondering, now that you don't have to pay a monthly fee for playing ESO, saying that you actually stopped playing it, or if you just stopped sharing videos, I guess he means like he doesn't know if I actually stopped, would you start putting out Let's Play ESO again? The Juggler. The short answer is no. I can't get into MMOs. I tried playing WoW way back when, and I never got into it. I tried with ESO. It's just MMOs are not for me. The only MMO I've ever gotten into was MapleStory, and I don't even consider that a real MMO. So yeah, the simple answer is no. I do not like MMOs. I think Elder Scrolls, from what I played, was a cool game, and I liked the graphic style. I liked a lot of the quests, but it's just not for me. Okay, so Shagnik Chakraborty, hopefully I said that right, asks, when did you first hear Dave Grohl? Also, why are you such a big fan of his? So, I don't know when I first unconsciously heard Dave Grohl, because, you know, you could hear a band that you're a huge fan of now before you ever realized who they were. But consciously, I know that there was a place where I used to live in Florida called, I think it was Kinetics or Kinex. I think Kinetics might be the Lego thing. I don't think it's affiliated with Lego, but it's like a thing that's like Lego. Anyways, there was a place called like Kinex or Kinetics that I went with my friend. Basically, you would pay by the hour and you could play video games. They had PCs, they had every console, and you could just play whatever you wanted. Usually, it was not worth the price at all, by the way. It's just something to do. But usually, me and my friend would go there and play Rock Band 2. And on Rock Band 2 was Monkey Wrench, which is a Foo Fighters song. And I really liked that song. And then, I think it was years later, but the album Echo, Silence, Patience, and Grace came out. And on that album was The Pretender, which is a huge single for them. And radio started playing it all the time, and I was such a huge fan of that song that I bought the album, and then I went ahead and bought like all their other albums, and that's why I became such a fan. And Dave Grohl personally, if you know anything about Dave Grohl, you know that he's like a seriously true person, like a real person. Like, he does not bullshit at all, which is probably the biggest quality I look for in people. Like, I really like it when people are honest. And he's just a really cool dude. Like, if you look at any interviews and stuff like that, he's like a family man, but he's also this rad as shit dude. So yeah, I just think Dave Grohl's super cool, and I also happen to like his music a lot. And finally, Clayton M111 asks, be honest, what's your favorite Nirvana, Foo Fighter, and them Crooked Vulture song? So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give a cop-out answer for this too. I tried thinking about like what was actually my definitive favorite songs, but it's just not happening, and I'll explain why. Nirvana, I'm actually not a big fan of Nirvana. I know it's like half of my name, but I just thought it went well at the time. I do like some of Nirvana's stuff, but but my favorite song would be a tie between like In Bloom, Lithium, Smells Like Teen Spirit, which of course everyone knows. But yeah, I don't like a particular song the most. Foo Fighters is the same thing. I know all their songs, and I like too many of them to really give a definitive answer. On the Mend is up there, though. I like how no one really knows what that is, and also, it's just like this really, really, really nice song. If you've not heard On the Mend, I recommend it. And finally, Them Crooked Vultures. I've listened to the whole album, but I never really got into it. I didn't really like the style, so yeah, I couldn't even tell you one song from them. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I couldn't get to everybody's questions. If I did, this would be like a 2-hour-long video. I tried to make a list of some of the more interesting ones, and also a lot of them were duplicates, so hopefully I answered more than one of yours if you asked the same question. Thank you so much for everything. I mean, I hate to sound like a broken record, but you kind of have to as a YouTuber when you hit milestones. I really do appreciate everything you guys do for me, all the comments, all the likes, all the support, everything like that. It really means a lot. We are 25,000 subscribers away from 100,000, the big number, and that has been the number that my eyes have been set on since I started this whole gig. So thank you guys so much again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.